everybody. Welcome to the Sioux Falls 1 Million Cups. My name is Sadie Sweer, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator at Downtown Sioux Falls. I am thrilled to be here this morning. We have a great Downtown Sioux Falls business here with us today. But of course, we got to give a little shout out to 1 Million Cups, and this is a national organization thanks to the Kauffman Foundation. And it was all because this great organization is based on the notion that entrepreneurs discover solutions and engage with their communities over 1 million cups of coffee. And so this program has been around since 2012, and it's completely free and designed for people to educate, engage, and inspire entrepreneurs around the country. And so through the power of many volunteers, 1 Million Cups has grown to over 160 communities, including a strong one here in Sioux Falls. So, of course, we're going to continue with the rest of the morning. Is there anybody on the call that is completely new or would just like to reintroduce themselves? And if you're listening on YouTube or Facebook, please feel free to comment. We'll be getting the comments in the Zoom call chat so we can give a shout out to you as well. So let's kick it off. Any first timers? It doesn't look like it in the Zoom chat. Anybody out there in Facebook or YouTube land? No? That's okay. All right. Well, if you are new and you just want to type in the chat, feel free to do that. We'll give you a shout out a little later. But we can continue to calendar of events. So if you have any community events that you think would be pertinent to the entrepreneurship community, please share those. Feel free to go live. Feel free to comment in the chat. And of course, I have some events for Downtown Sioux Falls this weekend, but we'll open it up. Who has some events?
Sadie, I can talk about what we've got going on. So next week, on Wednesday, we are celebrating Entrepreneurship Day in Sioux Falls. And so that comes with a whole slew of activities, the first of which is our 1 Million Cups, which we will be having John Meyer and Natalie Eisenberg from ClickRain or from Lemonly and ClickRain, respectively, talking about their merger. And then at the end of the day, we're going to have a startup social and a tour of the Fernson Brewery, and we'll hear from Derek, who's one of the Derek Fernholz, who's one of the founders of Fernson, and we'll hear a little bit about their story, which should be fun. And then throughout the day, we're going to have some surprise appearances across our Facebook feed from prominent members of our community talking about different things. So feel free to stay plugged into our social media and join us for the day.
That's exciting. So next Wednesday is really a celebration of the Sioux Falls entrepreneurship community. And of course, 1 Million Cups and Zeal's really coming out for that. It's going to be a party.
Exactly.
Any other events going on?
I was actually just wondering if Peter might share how people can change their Facebook profile if they're interested.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing, Sarah. Thanks. I'll drop some links in the Zoom chat and then also on Facebook. But we've created 2, or maybe, is there 3, Sarah? Is there 2 or 3? There's 2 Facebook profile picture frames that you can adopt. And it's one of them is I support founders, and then one of them is I am a founder. So if you are the founder of a business, feel free to use the I am a founder one. And then if you support founders, use the I support founders one. I know that some founders are being a little humble and using the I support founders instead of I am a founder, but.
And I know too, you can change your profile if you go to some other people's picture and then you use that filter. So I'll be doing that too.
Great.
Any other events for the community happening? Aaron?
Just my weekly reminder that the I2I competition is coming up, and we're looking for college and high school students to enter their business ideas. So you can find more at usd.edu/I2I. And the deadline is March 24th.
Great. As a proud coyote, go check it out. Go Yotes.
Hey, Sadie, this is Maureen.
Morning.
I thought I would just mention once again the virtual morning marketing party. We do have a little bit of time on this. It doesn't start, or it's not until March 25th, but it's about 1 month out, so it's worth sharing. So this will be at 8:30 in the morning. It is virtual. Some of you have probably attended our previous Startup Sioux Falls and Zeal's previous morning marketing parties. This one will be online, but we are partnering with Flyboy, so you can stop by Flyboy that morning and show your Eventbrite registration for the virtual marketing party to get a free donut. So March 25th, 8:30 a.m. on Zoom. Go to startupsiouxfalls.com on the event calendar to find more information, or search for virtual morning marketing party on Eventbrite to register for that. And basically the gist, what is a morning marketing party? I guess I forgot that part. We're inviting all business owners or marketing professionals to get together and share a marketing tip with each other. That's really like the bulk of what the content is for this event. And it's something we've done a couple times before that's been pretty popular. And I think everyone takes away a couple of valuable tips from it. So March 25th, thanks.
Awesome. If I could share a marketing tip for live streaming people, it would be don't wear a turtleneck when you're getting a microphone hooked up. You can't see it, but I'm all taped up and back. Pinnacle's amazing. Shout out to them, but don't wear a turtleneck. That's my tip.
But it looks great, Sadie.
Hey, thanks, Marie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other events? Anything in the Facebook comments? No? Well, of course, if you do have something, feel free to share it so everybody can see it if you're tuning in on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll keep going on. I want to share a couple DTSF events, of course, and so these are some great ways to get involved. We want to talk about the art community, an entrepreneur-spirited group as well. And USF students are actually having an art reception at the Washington Pavilion this Friday, and it's completely free, open to the public. It's in the Visual Arts Center, and so you can go check that out. There's more details on the DTSF website about that. A family event on Saturday. Full Circle Book Co-op is doing a children's book giveaway. So if you just go there on Saturday or Sunday this weekend, check it out, shop, maybe grab a pizza, beverage, you can get 5 free children's books just for going there. So Full Circle Book Co-op Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And of course, there's plenty of other things to do in downtown Sioux Falls. Just go to dtsf.com. There's my shameless plug. There it is. And so we will get on to the main event this morning for 1 Million Cups. We have a wonderful downtown Sioux Falls business, and this is a restaurant that is unique to Sioux Falls. And this is a group really focused on holistic health of the Sioux Falls community that not only does to-go options, but also includes many other services. And this business is called Original Greens, or OG Greens. And I'm excited to have the co-owner with us this morning, Brandon Manning. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Sadie. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on with us. So we'll get right to it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about OG Greens?
Yes, I'm excited to. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Manning. I'm one of the co-founders of OG Greens. OG Greens, again, as Sadie mentioned, it's about original greens or original goodness, things that come from the earth that are nutritious. They're simple foods that we can consume, and they give us energy and help us to thrive throughout the course of the day. One of the primary reasons we were super interested in offering OG Greens to the community of Sioux Falls is because we noticed there was an opportunity to have more healthy food options for individuals here. It's good to have different foods throughout the course of the week, but your body also needs certain nutritious foods like fruits and vegetables, clean meats, and seafood. And so, we saw there was a real value in being able to offer that. OG Greens on a whole is really a family venture. I was really excited to work with some of my family members to get this started. It's cool when you get older and you see, I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister, and you have one brother that developed this awesome skill set in the culinary space, another brother that's really good in another area. My background's in technology. My mom has her skill set, and we all come together and we're able to share our ideas about cuisine, about health and wellness, and the things that we found to be really valuable in our day-to-day. And so OG Greens was a combination of all of those different exciting ideas and skill sets that we had to bring to the table. So when we created the initial menu, it was very much influenced by some of our family background. Family background is Jamaican, have a Caribbean influence and Filipino, and then just from foods that we encountered through our travels. Now, we moved here from California, and so there's a lot of places like OG Greens, honestly, out there. And so farm to table, non-GMO, organic or sustainably processed foods, even down to the packaging, are all very important, offerings for individuals in California. And we see that when I travel to Denver and other places, it's a very similar need and interest that's there as well. And so it was great to be able to come back and bring, all of those different ideas back to the community in Sioux Falls. Now, growing up, we grew up in the Bronx, and we kind of grew up, I've learned this term later on, it was kind of like a food desert. So we had certain areas, we had certain areas that, you can get certain things really quickly, but it wasn't necessarily about the nutrition. It was about being affordable. Am I going to get a number one for $5, or am I going to get 2 mangoes for $5, right? And so it was really, it was very impactful for us, because we also saw people deal with some of the same health concerns over time. And we realized that, like Hippocrates said, let your food be your medicine, and let your medicine be your food. It really did impact the overall health of the individuals that were in the community. And so I always took that with us when we traveled certain places. We see when you had more options, healthier options, a direct connection to the farmers, in and around the community, if they were there, that there was also, a more vibrancy in the general population. And so it was really important to be able to again, tap into that here as well.
Awesome.
So, and I forgot. At OG Greens, we do have several different services. One of the things that we really do enjoy offering to our community right now, the Salad a Week program. And the reason we like this is because it's very minimal. You have your regular diet. You can consume whatever you want to, but then you can come in, or you can place an order online, and you can have a combination of our different greens and grains and proteins, and make it about you. Make sure that the food that you're going to eat tastes great, and that it's something that you can have each week. We do deliveries downtown Sioux Falls for free on Mondays and Wednesdays, which really helps, because the goal is to, again, help encourage more healthy nutritional habits throughout the course of your week. So it's definitely a really cool concept, and we're seeing a lot of really good feedback from the community when it comes to that. People love being able to just come and pick up their custom salad, and then go about the rest of their day, but along with the juices and so on. So it's for me, it's been a passion project. Working with family was definitely an important goal, but also being able to provide these healthy offerings to the community has been really good. As a father of 3, or possibly more soon.
Whoa.
It's been educational. Our youngest child, he actually has severe allergies, so he's allergic to wheat, eggs, soy, dairy, and tree nuts. And we almost lost him a year and a half ago because he took a bite of pizza from one of his siblings. And my wife came in the house. She was stepped outside for a moment. She came in. He was laying on the floor. He went into full anaphylaxis. So you had to give him an EpiPen, and we had to race him to the castle, where they were able to resuscitate him. And the scariest thing was that it was just cheese, right, or a little bit of wheat that had triggered this reaction. And it's like, if he's having this and he's 2 years old, right? How many other people have these different types of responses to food, and how dangerous can it be if you're not necessarily aware? Maybe you have a mild reaction. Maybe it manifests itself in some way where you don't necessarily think that it's an overt issue, but over time it can build up. And so being able to have a diet where you can actually have foods that help detoxify your body, help cleanse your body of certain toxins, can be really beneficial, because you can live a more vibrant, healthy life, get rid of the mental fog, go for 20-mile runs like Sadie does every day. And so I think it's super important to be able to have that understanding of what cuisine works for you, and make sure that it's not a hard and fast rule, but you're constantly making better food decisions for yourself over time.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And so we'll kick it off with questions. And so we'll be receiving questions from the comment section, from our Zoom chat. And then I already have a ton of questions for you, Brandon, but we'll kick off some easy ones. So was your Jones 421 location, was that the first place that you opened OG Greens, or did you do any other services?
So Jones 421 is the first place where we opened it. Yeah. And we looked around, but it seemed like a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, very good. And it looks like we already have a question in the chat. Maureen, do you want to say it live or do you want me to read it?
I can say it live. So Brandon, hey, I'm a fan of OG Greens. I like your taco salad the best. So you've done a great job here kind of in your introduction of sharing what you brought to Sioux Falls and why that's important. But can you share more about the how, about your business journey, how you really got it started and how it has changed over time? I'm sure the pandemic probably brought some changes and maybe other things that I don't even know anything about.
Oh, the pandemic, that little thing. Well, since you mentioned it, probably not the greatest time to open a restaurant when people are being inundated with a global pandemic. However, again, the Sioux Falls community showed up. So when we opened, it was, a simple kind of takeout model. We added the ability so you could do catering and different delivery services. But as COVID hit, we really had to transition to more online services. And so we had to adopt our model. We had to update our website and make it easier for people to place their orders online. And then we could also, do curbside pickup or, just work with them basically to figure out the best way to get our food to them in a controlled, safe fashion that, was sustainable over time.
Great. And also along with that, did you have delivery options before the pandemic, or you're on Grubhub and what's the other one?
And DoorDash.
And DoorDash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were doing that before COVID.
Yes. Yep.
Got it. So you were really about all the to-go space. And I even think about OG Greens right now. And, the seating space of it is the Jones 421 building.
Right.
Was that intentional to have it mostly just the space as to-go orders? It was. The Jones, one of the reasons I love that space is because, you have all these different seating arrangements where you can be more cozy, if you want to sit down with a bunch of friends. And so we figured, let's make the space that we're going to be working in as comfortable as possible to prepare these great meals. But then you can go and sit wherever, inside, outside. Outside, yes. And it's such a beautiful option for people to have. There's something about having an OG Green salad and then sitting outside at the Jones 421 building. That is a summer spot in downtown and in Sioux Falls. Any other questions? We got a question in the Zoom chat from Peter. Do you want to say it live, Peter?
Yeah, I can say it live. I didn't know if you wanted me to read it or not. Let me go back. Brandon, so what has been the single greatest hurdle that you had to overcome in opening OG Greens? I'm always interested in the trials and tribulations that entrepreneurs face in opening their ventures. So that is a fantastic question. I can tell you, OG Greens is my first restaurant. It's not my first business. And so I don't know, should I address you or both, whatever you feel like. So what happened was, right. I was able to start this business with one of my family members, a very aggressive culinary background. He's cooked on every continent. And, we had this partnership that was family based, but over time I realized we also had a different understanding of what success would look like and what direction we wanted to take it. And so one of the major hurdles was being respectful of our family ties, but understanding that it's okay to have differences and also to trend down different paths to accomplish our goals. And so being able to take everything that I learned from that experience and then also understand the importance of, regardless of family ties, how important it is to find a partner
that you have more synergies with on the business side of things can really help with the longevity of your business, and accomplishing, those similar goals is really important. Yeah. So don't work with your brother. Kidding. Yeah.
Got it. Marketing advice right there. That's your tip. We have another comment, not a question, but from Trenton Elliott. He says, thanks for sharing. As a parent of a child with severe allergies, it's so hard to find food for him. And so can you speak to that, talking about people with food allergies and why OG Greens is a great solution for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I love is that our little one can come in and he can prepare his own food. There's only 2 items that we have siloed away, which are our boiled eggs. And then we also have like a shaved Parmesan. That's it. Everything else, is not on his allergy spectrum. One of the primary concerns that I'm sure you've experienced, Trent, is the fact that you can go to certain restaurants, you can order fruit salad or something, but you don't know how it's prepared, right? Mm-hmm. What else did they cut, with this knife? Was the station, clean? Because the child, in our instance, he's very sensitive. So we'd have breakouts. We start to see blotches, or we start breathing heavily. And it's, it adds a certain amount of anxiety where you find yourself wanting to dine out less, at least, as a family. And so one of the things that I love about OG Greens is we have people come in, they ask challenging questions. A lot of times we'll learn stuff, in the process, but we can confidently tell them, here's how our, we source our proteins. Here's where our greens come from. Here's the makeup of our dressings, right? We use an extra virgin olive oil base. It's a simple mix up. We have organic options. And then we also, we're very open to just working with someone. So if they want to do just a spritz of olive oil, a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon, a little sea salt, and some fresh cracked black pepper, we'll do that because it's really about you. We love the fact that you're willing to dine with us. We want to hear your story, and we want to be able to show you that we do care more so than, just the traditional business components. We want you to have an enjoyable meal and feel like energized.
That right there is so special because that's just what Sioux Falls entrepreneurship is all about, in terms of just being there for somebody, wanting to hear their story, just appreciating them coming out to support you and your dream and your passion. I love that. And, you talk about preparing these salads, and your space is so beautiful because, you are right there seeing them prepare with all of the ingredients. So you can see it. Mm-hmm. They're making the salad right there. So we'll continue on with another question. Matt Paulson said, how did the burger battle impact your business? You had a couple burger battle locations in the Jones building. Did you see more customers because people were eating downtown, or fewer customers because people were choosing burgers over more healthy options?
That is a great question.
I'm curious. Oh boy.
So to answer your first question, the burger battle impacted our business in that we saw an uptick. There was more foot traffic in the building. People were shopping. We actually had 2 restaurants that had burgers in the burger battle. And so individuals were ordering the burgers, but it didn't just impact, the burger battle didn't just impact our business. It was also impacting people's colons. So we did have individuals that came around and literally said, I just got 2 burgers from this place. I need something else. And so they'd get a salad, or they grab some juices and they're like, the green juice, is this going to do it? I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be 4 patty cleansing, but it'll help. So I think people were realistic also. Yeah. We'd have some people come by and, oh, well, if you get the burger, then I'm going to get the salad. And we're thankful for that because still it's all beneficial.
What an incredible story. Yes. And I'm sure maybe an uptick after burger battle after January, maybe February too.
That's right.
A salad battle. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Matt, what do you think of that? Salad battle. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up too, just because, promotions like that, it's not just about, helping businesses like Papa Woody's and Swamp Daddy's, which were the businesses who had the burgers, and did very well. Papa Woody's won
They did
the whole
great.
thing, but that extended impact and overall economic impact. So it's great to hear that you guys did well
Yeah.
in January.
It's a fun idea. It was very creative, and it delivered on its promise. Burger Battle, get people out to the level of comfort that they would like to have, and to shop locally, to order locally. I would be remiss to say that the sales across the building went up.
Cool.
We saw more people shopping and everything. So definitely a very clever initiative, and I'm looking forward to next year's.
Yeah, people came out for it. It was fun. And it looks like we got a lot more questions. Awesome. Maureen asks again, so Grubhub and DoorDash, curious to hear from the restaurateur perspective, how much are they helping or even possibly hurting your profit margin for business?
Maureen, that sounds kind of leading.
Oh,
But you're right.
Look at her face.
Yes. But you're right. If your profit margin is 20%, and then the delivery service is charging you 18 to 20%, you're more or less you're at a point of break even. And so there was actually one of the owners of Bread and Circus actually had a post about a week or so ago, and he was just talking about, it's like, hey, if you really want to help businesses, call in and come pick it up, or see if they have alternative delivery services. That's one of the reasons why we offer the Monday and Wednesday delivery. It's actually more affordable, at least if you're downtown, for me to have a staff member go and deliver salads for a specific period of time than to work with these other services because of that percentage.
Wow. So, and that was Monday and Wednesday free delivery in downtown.
That's correct.
Wow. That's incredible. So maybe that'd be a problem for a local entrepreneur to fix. Maybe a better delivery food service for some businesses.
Yeah.
Instead of the national ones.
We're actually working on something. My background is in tech, so we do have an app. And once we finish vetting it, I would like to offer it to other businesses where we can figure out models that work, things that are really complementary to the fact that we're dealing with COVID. It's like, hey, we want to help you. We mean it. Here's the technology to sustain your business, and let's start there. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll be hearing from Brandon on that.
I don't know.
In the future.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. Maureen says, another food allergy parent here. I have to say it is so refreshing to have a restaurant employee confidently tell me the meal is safe for my son. So more of a comment. Awesome. And then question from Dakota Jordan on Facebook. Hi, Dakota. She said, like you mentioned, sustainable, healthy restaurants are standard in other communities, but maybe not quite so in South Dakota. What has the experience been like to get people to, and she put in quote, convert people from our meat and potatoes culture to accepting a business like yours?
That is a great question. So let's see, initially the converts happened when I would see wives dragging their husbands into our establishment, between month 1 and 3, because they thought it was just salads. But when they found out that they could have, a nice lean piece of meat like steak with, brown rice or quinoa or flour tortillas and whatnot, then they were like, oh, okay, it's not just rabbit food. And it's like, so the main thing is getting people to try it. Once they try, you have to understand it's healthier for you, but it's still aggressively flavorful. And so the recommendation is to try the food, and then take it on its own merits, whether you like it or not. That's something that we're okay with. You can look at the reviews, and the reviews are really good, but come in and try it. Give it a try, and then you can go from there and say, wow, this is and some of the feedback is this tastes really good. It didn't matter if that was healthy. It tasted really good.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I think that's important.
More than rabbit food, aggressively tasteful. That's it.
That was going to be the other name for OG Greens. We went more than rabbit food. Still, we went a little shorter. Yeah. I
like it. Very good. And it looks like there's a follow-up from Dakota too. Love OG Greens, by the way. The salads and juices are fire. Oh. Love having a sustainable, healthy option in downtown. So do you want to talk a little bit about the juices as well?
Yeah,
more
absolutely.
Than just salad, rabbit food.
So we have a greens and pineapple, which is fresh squeezed kale, ginger, pineapple, organic apple, and spinach. Right. It has a tropical flavor, and it, you know, again, you get all those micronutrients kind of like just super enriched in there, and it's delicious. We have another drink called Super Heartbeat, and so it's just beet juice. Again, organic apple and a little bit of ginger. And the thing with beet juice is it's fantastic for your heart, for your cardiovascular system, and it can really repair some of the damage that might have been done over a period of time. So it's just it's a great option. So those are our two primaries, and then we tinker from time to time.
Very good. Cool. So salads, juices. Question from the Facebook comments from Allison: what helped you narrow down in what your business would actually do?
So, you know, the community also tells you what works, right? So there were certain things that are on the menu that we didn't see move. So we pulled those off the menu. And as a result, we ended up just having a tighter kind of funnel where it's like, okay, these are the items that people really enjoy. Let's continue to refine those. And let's also start experimenting with like the price points, because the new menu is going to be coming out in spring, which you're going to see a consolidation of that. But people like really good food, but they also like things that are affordable enough for them to take advantage of. And that's something that's very important. And so being able to combine those, I think, have been really important components to to us being able to continue to thrive.
And so I get asked a lot about local restaurants because they talk about, oh, well, it's expensive. So if someone came up to you and said, oh, well, these are expensive salads, what would you say to them?
I would say that these salads are made with love.
Sold, say less.
Yes.
But also.
Yes. So the thing is, we'll have larger like companies come, we'll have like a Cisco system, not throwing any shade, or US Foods, which is fantastic. And we can get great deals. I can get chicken for pennies on the dollar what we spend, right? I can get all sorts of types of olive oils, right? But extra virgin olive oil, it's, you know, the price points are different. At the end of the day, the thought is I'm going to prepare this food with the best quality ingredients as if I'm feeding it to my children, to my family, to my wife, to whoever it is, because I want you to enjoy it, but I don't want you to have that sluggish feeling. I want your body to be able to process it and, you know, you to continue to thrive. And that might not always be the resonating thought with every institution. Some, you know, it's really, hey, where can we get the best deal for this in bulk? And sometimes there's a degrading of value there. And so when you're eating the salads, the bowls are made of wheat fiber, our bottles are made of wheat fiber, our lids are made of wheat fiber, our spoons, which we just changed because no one likes eating off of bamboo spoons apparently, but they're also, you know, it's all done sensibly. We can do these things cheaper, but they wouldn't be as effective to our underlying mission.
Absolutely. And that's great. And it looks like we have another question from Facebook from Paul. Do you see limitations in acquiring sufficient high-level produce if and when your business model grows?
That is a great question.
Paul.
I do. And we have, but the thing is, we've also established some really strong connections with farmers, right? And so if we're able to offer the scale at which, you know, they would grow these things, then we'll get better value. We'll have better price points. If you're going to buy one thing of kale from a local farmer, yes, the price point is probably going to be on the higher end. But if you can guarantee and commit to the fact that I would like to get, 50 bushels of kale from you each week, the price point will go down. The farmer will have a little more longevity in his product system, and that's a benefit. So if we get to the point where we need to have that volume and that scale, I look forward to being able to leverage some of those relationships and look into those cool shipping containers where you can grow things 24/7.
So do you get many of your products or produce locally or regional?
We do. So we do purchase certain things from big box stores. There's good value there. We do work with like Dakota Fresh. And so when we have an opportunity, the farmers market comes back in, and we can purchase their products, we do, because they're really good. And again, you're supporting your local economy.
That's awesome. Okay. Oh, we have a comment in the Zoom call from Trenton. Next year, do a burger salad.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Okay, Peter, aggressively flavorful. I love that. Yes, Peter, we love that too. Any other questions?
Ooh.
Oh, Dakota Jordan says expensive salads are still cheaper than medical bills, right?
We should probably consider that. We'll just let you eat salads and then we'll send you an invoice at the end of the month.
Invoice, yeah. Well, I mean that kind of. You said you do the salad per week and catering. Do you do any other services or?
So that's primarily outside of like the takeout and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of people signed up for that, or have you done catering in the last year?
We've done catering. We have catered events scattered out throughout the year. With COVID, it kind of changed things. We actually had several catering events that were canceled because of COVID, which is understandable. Absolutely. But we were also able to make some modifications where we took some different precautions, and the catering turned into us preparing 30 different like custom salads and then delivering them to undisclosed locations and so on. So we were able to be a little flexible there, but that's still a viable service that we do offer.
Okay. And any other questions? I'm not seeing one. Very good. Mm-hmm. And so one question I have, as a business focused on holistic health, and similar to Dakota's question, do you see any other locations and businesses like yours in Sioux Falls or in South Dakota, and maybe talk about what you're doing similarly and what makes OG Greens different than those businesses?
So the first one that would come to mind, I think, is Deli Clean Food.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so, and then also like Pomegranate Market, right? So they have some like healthier options, and I think it's great. I think the more the merrier, right? Because when you actually have a proportionate amount of healthy food options, and if they're affordable to the other options, then you might start to see a variation and change in the overall health of the populace. And I think that's super important. Mm-hmm. And so for us, we're very much about being healthy, but the flavor component is super important. And so if you can't get past the taste of it, then it's not really a viable solution for you. So if we can throw in some curries and turmerics, a little, use some coconut or liquid amino and stuff like that, jazz it up, then yeah, that if you want to come back and eat this because it tastes good, then consider that a successful transaction for.
We just keep coming back to aggressively flavorful.
Bam.
Bam. That's it. Pinnacle, can you put that in big lights, right? Aggressively flavorful. Next time.
We'll have a guy just run by and just tackle people.
Well, we are coming to the end of our time here, but does anyone have any last questions before we get to ask our last question? Giving it a couple seconds. Not seeing anything pop up in the chat. Well, of course, the last question we always ask our guests at 1 Million Cups is, what can the Sioux Falls and 1 Million Cups community do to support you and your business, OG Greens?
You're already doing it, so it's more of a request to continue doing it. Sioux Falls is a beautiful place. You have this fantastic moral compass. I haven't seen it in all the other places I've lived and traveled. Continue to get the word out. Encourage individuals to have at least one healthy meal, each week. Try our salads, try our meals, our plates, our juices. Find something that works for you, and then spread the word. If it's something that you enjoy, let someone else know about it. Also, we're realistic. If it's something you kind of enjoyed or didn't enjoy, tell us so we can pivot and we can make it a better product. The goal is to serve you.
Amazing. And it looks like we had some more questions pop up, but I'm sure you're available if people want to ask you maybe an email or come to OG Greens and ask you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us this morning. This was great.
Thank you for having me, Sadie. And the rest of the Pinnacle team has been fantastic.
They have been fantastic. Love this in the morning. And so, of course, we want to give a couple shout outs and share the upcoming speakers for the weeks. Next week, like Peter talked about at the beginning of the morning, is a big one. And up on the screen, you can see next Wednesday, 9 a.m., March 3rd, is Sioux Falls Entrepreneurship Day, and we're very excited to have John Meyer and Natalie Eisenberg talk about the ClickRain acquisition of Lemonly. And we've been talking about it internally. They're very excited to come on and talk with us about that. And so after that, we have Brandon Maddox with Silencer Central, Walter Ports with Helen's Plan the week after that. And wrapping up March, Tyler Brockle with Trigger Interactive and Mark Stavanger with Severance Brewing Company, another uptown business. And we're very excited for the lineup coming up. And last shout out to our sponsors, which of course is First National Bank, MarketBeat, Zeal Center for Entrepreneurship, and the great people over at Pinnacle Productions. So thank you all for coming on this morning. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next Wednesday for a big 1 million cups, 9 a.m., virtually or live. One last thanks to Brandon at OG Greens. And again, my name is Sadie Sweer, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with DTSF. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.